Continuing from the previous episode 625. Just after Sheng Yanjing started, circles of azure blue sacred flame power continued to radiate from it, and then the entire body of Mu Yingying was wrapped tightly. Come on! Mu Yingying let out a coquettish cry. Her body was covered in flames, like a flame queen. She smiled lightly at the 8-color thundercloud above the sky. Boom boom boom! The 8-color thundercloud above the sky seemed to be provoked by Mu Yingying. Immediately in the middle of the 8-color thundercloud, a terrifying thunderbolt containing 8 colors was born in an instant, and the 8-color thunderbolt flashed with strange power. Descended like a world annihilation, and immediately rushed towards Mu Yingying below with the momentum of a broken bamboo. Humph! Mu Yingying did not hesitate in the face of the 8-color thunder tribulation, because she knew that this was just the beginning. Immediately, Mu Yingying raised her hand slightly, and the holy flame crystal in her hand slowly raised, directly facing the 8-color thunder robbery that came to her. Boom boom boom! The 8-color thunder robbery had just come 5 feet away from Mu Yingying, but it actually stopped, as if it was suppressed by some terror. Then the next moment, the holy flame crystal in Mu Yingying's hand burst into a dazzling blue flame, instantly swallowing up the 8-color thunder tribulation. This Mu Yingying's control of Sheng Yan is too terrifying. Xiao Yan, who was beside him, hurriedly retreated some distance, and then kept saying. Although it was just a fight just now, but with Xiao Yan's hot eyes as a pharmacist, it was naturally not difficult to see the means that Mu Yingying used. Just now, Mu Yingying focused on the holy flame crystal, and injected the breath of her whole body into it, and at the moment of the 8-color thunder tribulation attack, she released the power of holy flame, so as to achieve the point where the thunder tribulation could not be attacked and self-destructed. Even Xiao Yan couldn't help feeling ashamed of the flame technique released at that moment. This required a huge amount of soul power to do it. Boom boom boom! It seemed that he was provoked, and it seemed that the 8-color thundercloud underestimated Mu Yingying. The 8-color thundercloud shook violently, and a wave of destruction was slowly born. Shabu shabu! At the next moment, 3 huge pillars of lightning burst out from the 8-color thundercloud, and they struck down suddenly from the thundercloud. Although this thunder calamity is terrifying, it is fortunate that I have holy flames. If things go on like this, the 8-color thundercloud is no big deal. I can't say that there is still this golden liquid left. Mu Yingying said softly. The terrifying power contained in it was not too difficult for Mu Yingying, who possessed holy flame, even if the holy flame in Mu Yingying's body was in a sealed state. CC. 8-color Leiyan seemed to have some doubts when he saw that his attack was easily resolved by this woman at one time. In the past, it was so terrifying. Human beings had to avoid the thunder tribulation that they had to avoid. How come it was in the hands of this woman today, but it was as deadly as a family? Woo-hoo! The 8-color thundercloud was provoked, and then it shook violently and spun. In a short moment, a huge figure slowly floated out of the rapidly rotating 8-color thundercloud. Is the robbery spirit condensed from the 8-color thunder robbery? Xing Yan stared at the looming huge creature above the sky, and a cold air filled her heart. Jia Ling, Xiao Yan muttered in a low voice. The so-called robbery spirit means that when a 7-color thundercloud is triggered during the tribulation, there will be a chance to be born at that time. The shape of this robbery spirit is ever-changing, but without exception, this robbery spirit carries extremely terrifying power. This robbery spirit is more terrifying than the thunder calamity caused by the 8-color thundercloud just now. Xing Yan said slowly, Shabu! The next moment, the 8-color thundercloud above the sky disappeared instantly, and a huge creature quietly crawled out from the place where the thundercloud disappeared. From a distance, the robbery creature is hundreds of feet tall, its head is only small with endless killing intent in its eyes, and its limbs are healthy, but it is all covered by some strange rays of light, and the 8-colored thunder and lightning are constantly flowing and covered in its silver color. Above the body, the strong muscles above the body exude extreme strength. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Wu. Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem, the robbery. Die. The robbery creature condensed by the 8-color thundercloud roared in the sky, and the space suddenly became extremely unstable. The terrifying coercion of Jia Ling instantly filled this dense formation, which brought a lot of pressure to Xiao Yan. Because of this robbery spirit, I am afraid that just in his current appearance, his strength has reached the level of 6-star Do Emperor consummation. Compared with Xiao Yan, he is only stronger than weak. Before Xiao Yan could start to reinforce the formation, the huge robbery above the sky became agile. The spirit of robbery led the huge body, and blasted away at Mu Yingying, who was underground. The terrifying speed caused a string of lightning currents and the sound of breaking wind in the sky. Damn! I didn't expect it to trigger a robbery, it's really an accident. Mu Yingying said softly, and then a tyrannical flame erupted from the holy flame crystal on the palm of her hand. Mu Yingying didn't dare to neglect, after all, this robbery spirit is the key to the success of transcending the robbery, so her strength should not be underestimated. Immediately, her beautiful eyes turned slightly, and the next moment she had a solution. All of this happened between lightning and flint. Hoo! On Mu Yingying's jade hand, the power absorbed directly in the Xuanling Emperor Pond had been condensed into 10 drops of golden liquid. Take it out. Boom, boom, boom. With the 10 drops of golden liquid in Mu Yingying's palm, her delicate body suddenly became resplendent, like a golden coin. Boom, boom, boom. The next moment, Mu Yingying's palm suddenly squeezed, and a golden energy was instantly born on top of her palm. Go! The red lips moved slightly, and suddenly Mu Yingying pushed her palm forward hard, and the golden energy instantly hit the Jia Ling. When Jia Ling was still rushing towards Mu Yingying, he was stunned by this sudden link to below www.novelmtl.com. Then when the golden energy entered his body, the huge power in his body was quickly weakened. In a short period of time, that Jia Ling was suppressed only in the early stage of the 6-star Do Emperor. It seems that the golden liquid that Mu Yingying had just now was poison, and the strength of the robbery spirit has been greatly reduced just after entering the body. Haha, it seems that the strength of this robbery before the robbery is probably as high as the 6-star Do Emperor consummation. A powerhouse of this level is undoubtedly too powerful for me now. But Mu Yingying's blow just now actually greatly reduced the strength of this robbery spirit. The robbery spirit in the early stage of the 6-star Do D is powerful, but Mu Yingying should have her grasp. And that golden power should be condensed by her using holy flame to condense the mysterious power in the Xuanling Emperor Pond within her body. Xiao Yan smiled slowly. Hee, let's see how you struggle now. The next moment, Mu Yingying had a seductive and dangerous smile on the corner of her mouth. She moved, and she suddenly faced the robbery spirit. After preparing for so long, this is the real calamity. Xiao Yan also watched with anticipation. He also wanted to know how many tricks this Mu Yingying had. Immediately after the robbery spirit above the sky, after the golden energy entered the body and caused the strength to be greatly reduced, he raised his head to the sky and roared, and an angry emotion filled the entire space. Obviously, the golden energy that Mu Yingying had just angered her, and it will be a real life and death fight. A calamity is about to break out. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 626. In the dense formation, there is Xiao Yan's enormous spiritual power. It's just that the Jia Ling, whose strength has been reduced by Mu Yingying's mysterious power, roared. Obviously Mu Yingying's actions really angered it. I didn't expect that the mysterious power absorbed in this Xuanling Emperor Pond would have the terrifying effect of suppressing the robbery. If the strength of this robbery spirit reaches the 6-star Do Emperor consummation, then for me, I am afraid that it is a great threat, and even I can only use that power, but that power will always eat away at my will. Although the robbery of the 6-star Do Emperor's initial stage is not a small threat, it will be enough to pass the time when it returns to its peak. Mu Yingying thought to herself. Ho ho ho! Jia Ling made a deafening voice, and then the power of lightning that had been dimmed by the golden energy all over his body emerged, but this power of lightning was obviously not as tyrannical as before. Shabu shabu! Jia Ling's speed is extremely fast, like a human being with hands and feet, but its body is too large. The figure moved, and the fist in his hand held the sky-shattering thunderbolt, and suddenly photographed it at Mu Yingying. Humph! Mu Yingying let out a coquettish anger, and then her figure flashed, easily dodging the seemingly terrifying blow of Jia Ling. Jia Ling's wisdom is not low. Seeing Mu Yingying dodging a blow from her, she did not flinch immediately, and attacked Mu Yingying with all her strength. This time, Jia Ling seemed to have learned to be smart, and did not attack directly, and clenched his fists with both hands, and then the power of lightning in his body continued to spread, and finally, it slowly condensed into a lightning ball in front of his chest. Above the lightning ball, the lightning circled around, and there were some small electric currents flickering constantly. Although this electric current was small, it made Mu Yingying feel a tingling feeling in her scalp. The power of thunder of this robbery is different from the power of ordinary thunder and lightning. It actually contains the power of destruction. If it is hit by this lightning ball, I am afraid that it will be seriously injured in an instant. Mu Yingying was also not feeling well. Although the strength of the robbery spirit was forcibly suppressed to the early stage of the 6-star Do Emperor by virtue of the golden energy, but Mu Yingying herself was only a 5-star Do Emperor, and the robbery spirit radiated the sky-shattering thunder and lightning invisibly. Mu Yingying had no choice but to take precautions. Go! Jia Ling spit out a slow cry, and then the destructive lightning ball on his chest suddenly whistled away at Mu Yingying. The lightning ball swept across the sky without any trace of energy or fluctuation, but it was this situation that moved Xiao Yan. Tisk tisk, the power of this lightning ball, even I have to use all my strength, otherwise, if I accidentally get contaminated with the destructive power of this lightning power, I will have to drag a layer of skin if I die. Xiao Yan said slightly, He, don't underestimate every owner of the holy flame. Xin Yan doesn't seem to care about whether Mu Yingying succeeds or not, because in his words, Mu Yingying's success is only a matter of time. Because of the holy flame. And only Xin Yan, the spirit of holy flame, knows the true power of holy flame. The true power of Sheng Yan, even the current Xiao Yan, cannot be fully exerted. If he wants to completely unleash the power of the Fireheart Tianyan Shengen, I am afraid that Xiao Yan's strength must at least reach the 9-star Do Emperor. Look, this woman should use the pure power of holy flame. The next moment, the lightning ball was about to hit Mu Yingying, and then Xin Yan spoke slowly. I originally thought that he could help, but now it seems that the robbery spirit transformed by these 8-color thunderclouds does not seem to be so terrifying. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, a charming and dangerous arc radiated from the corner of her mouth, and then the pupils directly burst out a shocking cold glow. At this moment, in Mu Yingying's eyes, there were azure blue ginseng and a trace of demonic flames, which looked quite strange. Ice, frozen. A cold snort came from under Mu Yingying's red lips instantly. As Mu Yingying's majestic voice came out, the lightning ball that had come a few meters in front of Mu Yingying suddenly stopped suddenly, and then a bright blue flame burst from its holy flame in front of Mu Yingying's chest. Emerging from the crystal, Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem. Although this flame is extremely small, when the azure blue holy flame just appeared, Xiao Yan felt that deep inside his body, not only the new flames that had merged with his 23 different fires, but also the fire heart Tianyan, the holy flame crystals, all exude an aura of worship. Shabu shabu. As soon as Mu Yingying finished speaking, a circle of blue flames suddenly spread out from under her feet like ripples. Wherever the terrifying flames passed, the space was filled with bursts of ice strands, and even the lightning ball containing the power of destruction in front of it was instantly frozen and lost its vitality. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Jia Ling also noticed that Mu Yingying seemed to have changed her appearance. Even the breath was not right, and she immediately shook violently, and then her body turned into a dazzling power of lightning, facing Mu Yingying suddenly. And go! The mental intelligence of this Jia Ling is obviously very high, so at this moment, Jia Ling already understands that the flame on the woman in front of him is not simple, and his own power of thunder and lightning can't cause any damage to her, so he has to compress himself suddenly, immediately blew himself up, trying to kill this woman with the terrifying destructive power of that self-destruction. A mere robbery spirit is also worthy of this king. Mu Yingying exuded azure blue pupils, and her body was like an iceberg, refusing to be thousands of miles away, and she said viciously and disdainfully. Just after Mu Yingying finished speaking, the self-exploding energy generated by the self-exploding robbery spirit was frozen in ice, and then dissipated into bursts of powder. The danger is lifted. The next moment, Mu Yingying's palm directly put the holy flame crystal in her hand into her body. Cough, cough. Sheng Yanjing had just entered the body, and Mu Yingying's pupils suddenly returned to a deep black, and even the breath weakened slightly. Strange. What secrets does this Mu Yingying hold? The azure pupils just now shocked my soul. This is something I have never heard of before. Also, the power of the 6-star Do D's initial robbery spirit's self-exploding power was instantly destroyed. It's strange. Xiaoyan stood linked to his side www.novelmtl.com from beginning to end. She was quite helpless about this Mu Yingying transcending the tribulation. Since this Mu Yingying has such a powerful force, why did she still come to this burning incense pavilion? Is it a bit unreasonable? Moreover, Mu Yingying with azure blue pupils and Mu Yingying with deep black pupils are clearly two people. This is the question in Xiaoyan's heart. It seems that this woman has more secrets than I thought. Xiaoyan said slowly, the spirit of holy flame in Xiaoyan's body, and then he kept his mouth shut. Are you all right? Xiaoyan saw that Mu Yingying had successfully crossed the robbery, and immediately ran over to ask. I'm fine. Mu Yingying sat cross-legged on the ground weakly, and then coughed violently a few times. Obviously the state of her body was quite bad. Take it. Xiaoyan didn't want to waste time here, and handed Mu Yingying some medicinal herbs. The azure pupils just now are actually... Mu Yingying took Xiaoyan's medicinal pill and ate it directly, and then her internal condition improved a little. Although I don't know what it is, it's better to use it sparingly. I always feel that it's not a good thing. Xiaoyan naturally didn't explore other people's secret hobbies, so he said, Yep, let's go. The team competition has already started. After speaking, Mu Yingying stood up as if nothing had happened, and ran way like a falling fairy facing Xiaoyan. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 627. The 3 days passed quickly in Mu Yingying's tribulation. Xiaoyan and the others left the back mountain and went to the place where the team competition gathered. The place where the team competition gathered was already in dire straits. Hey, have you heard of it? What? It's the Temple of Heaven. It is said that in the Temple of Heaven, there will be 5 people who will participate in the competition. I am afraid that everyone knows the strength of the Temple of Heaven. If they participate, they will undoubtedly be the champions. But for some unknown reason in this team competition, the Heavenly Palace suddenly announced its withdrawal, leaving only the Human Palace and our Earth Palace. This is really strange. What are you? I heard that all the named disciples in the Hall of People are approved to participate in this team competition. Below the burning incense pavilion, the Fenshin territory, thousands of disciples kept talking. What do you guys think of Xiaoyan's strength? In the crowd, a man in commoner clothes smiled slowly, and every time he mentioned Xiaoyan, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. This person was obviously Li Ji, one of the 3 leaders among the 128 named disciples that Xiaoyan and the 5 fought against when they first joined the Hall of Humanity. Hey, Li Ji, have you forgotten Xiaoyan's tyranny? The courage to challenge us named disciples was unparalleled. Beside Li Ji in commoner clothes, a large man smiled slowly. Humph. Li Ji, don't forget the pain without the scar. I seem to remember that you were miserable back then. Li Ji's expression was unmoved when she heard the words. But everyone could see that no matter how Li Ji and Li Ji quarreled, it didn't affect them in any way. Obviously, the relationship between the 3 was very unusual. These 3 people are the 3 strongest named disciples in the Hall of People. Li Ji, now his strength has reached the late stage of the 5-star Do D. Li Ji, does she represent pure power, and her strength has also reached the late stage of the 5-star Do Emperor. As for the first Zillion among the named disciples, he has reached the terrifying level of 5-star Do Emperor consummation. I'm looking forward to Xiaoyan's strength. A few days ago, I heard that this kid actually defeated Wang Chen in the underground palace, which is so relieved. Li Ji said to himself. This kid is quite terrifying. At the beginning, his strength was only that of a 4-star Do D, which made us uncomfortable. Now his strength is probably even more terrifying. Zi Lian swept through the crowd, but did not find any Xiaoyan. Some of the figures are just the disciples of the Earth Palace who are constantly cheering. As for the disciples of the Human Palace, there are probably only 100 or 200 people. Wang Chen's strength is in the middle stage of the 6-star Do D. This Xiaoyan can defeat him so easily. It means that this kid must have had some adventures in the 5 years since he left the Hall of Humanity. Otherwise, it is impossible to defeat Wang Chen. Li Ji is pacing, but I have to say that this kid is the pride of our human palace. Zilian said, and immediately went to comfort the named disciple behind. Did you make a mistake? The team competition and the dry man competition are clearly the prosperous times of our burning incense pavilion. How can some registered disciples be allowed to participate? What the asterisk is going on in this sect? In the underground hall, some disciples were extremely dissatisfied. Because even though there are thousands of disciples in the Temple of Earth, there are only a few dozen who truly possess tyrannical strength. The little witch is here. I don't know who said a word in the crowd, and the noisy crowd immediately quieted down, and then everyone retreated one way. Oh, it's really embarrassing, but who would know that Xiao Yan's strength was hidden so deeply? Beside the little witch Lingxuan, Wang Chen smiled slowly, because with his strength, it was naturally not ugly. The disciples from the underground hall around him were somewhat dissatisfied with him. Senior Brother Fifth, let's go. The little witch walked in without regard to the disciples of the Earth Palace. What? Why didn't you see Xiao Yan in the Hall of Humanity? The little witch had just arrived at the front of Burning Heaven territory, and immediately looked around, as if she was looking for something. Just as the little witch was searching slowly, there was a sudden movement among the poor registered disciples of the human palace, and then several familiar figures slowly came to Li Ji's side. Hee, isn't this Senior Brother Li Ji? Mu Feng had just arrived and greeted Li Ji warmly. Mu Feng and the others didn't look down on them just because they were named disciples, but admired them even more. Because Mu Feng knew that this named disciple was far more difficult than the official disciple. You? Just 3 people? Li Ji glanced around and found that there were only 3 people who came in, so he hesitated for a while. My eldest brother is on his way, Xiao Yi explained. Relying on the special connection between Xiao Yi and Xiao Yan, Xiao Yi knew for a long time that Xiao Yan and the others were on their way to successfully overcome the calamity, but this burning incense pavilion above Huishan was forbidden, so it was a waste of time. Your strength. The next moment, the silent Zilian suddenly said in surprise. Because Zilian knew clearly that the strength of the 3 people in front of him was only the level of a 4-star Do Di before entering the Hall of People. Now their strength actually makes Zilian feel powerless. Hee. Mu Feng smiled slowly but did not speak. By the way, how is the team competition going? The green flute on the side said slightly. Just as the green flute spoke, Li Ji paused for a while, because Li Ji and the others were quite afraid of the venom of the green flute. Have you seen the garden platform above Burning Heaven? The rules of the team competition will be explained here in a while. Li Ji said slowly to the 3 of Xiao Yi. I don't know why, but I always feel cold in my link to heart www.novelmtl.com. Xiao Yi doesn't know why, but she always feels that something is going to happen today. Where are the people from the Heavenly Palace? Xiao Yi glanced around and found that there were only people from their human palace and Earth Palace, and immediately opened her mouth slightly. The people from the Heavenly Palace heard that they were sent out on a mission, so this time, only our human palace and Earth Palace will be in the team competition. According to my estimation, I think there should be hundreds of participating teams in our second hall. Zilian said solemnly. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Wu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, hundreds of sticks. When Xiao Yi heard the words, she suddenly felt that something was wrong. In their human palace, even with the addition of named disciples, there will be no more than 10 teams participating in the competition. That is to say, more than 90% of this team competition will be disciples of the Earth Palace. There is no way to do this. Who will let us have the least number of disciples in the Hall of Humanity? But you don't need to worry too much. After all, this is a 5-player team competition, and it has nothing to do with others, and the rules of the team this time have not been clearly defined. Zilian seemed to see Xiao Yi's worry. Speak now. It seems that this temple is bound to win the championship. Xiao Yi slowly stared at the disciples of the temple not far away, and found that there was fire in their eyes. Quiet. Just as everyone was discussing, an old man slowly walked out of the garden platform above Burning Heaven. The old man's hungry voice echoed in everyone's mind like a thunderous thunder. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 628. Quiet. The sound of a mighty fighting spirit on the garden platform echoed below the entire burning heaven territory, and the entire square suddenly became quiet. Numerous disciples slowly raised their heads, only to see an old man at the front of the burning Tianyu garden terrace, followed by two middle-aged men. The discerning person knew that the figure beside the old man was Shang Yuan, the current deputy hall master of the Earth Hall, and the other was Mu Shuji, the deputy hall master of the Human Hall. Because of his fat body, Shang Yuan is often called Fat Master by the people in the Hall of Earth, but his strength is undoubtedly powerful. On the other hand, Mu Shuji is a peaceful person, but if he can be the deputy hall master, is it not a vain reputation? Hello, all the disciples of Burning Incense Pavilion. I'm Qing Lao, the deputy head of the Fenxiang Pavilion Heavenly Palace. This team competition will be held and supervised by the three of us. Qing Lao smiled slowly, and his voice spread throughout the square below the burning heaven domain. What? Deputy Master of the Heavenly Palace? When the people present heard the words, they were suddenly surprised. Because in their Burning Incense Pavilion, the number of disciples in the Tiandian Temple has always been constant, and they are all 7. If you want to enter the Temple of Heaven, you will undoubtedly need not only huge strength, but also a firm mind and the spirit of self-sacrifice and so on. And everyone knows that this heavenly palace is the real power of the entire Burning Incense Pavilion. Not only the 7 disciples of the Heavenly Palace, but also the terrifying strength of the Heavenly Palace Deputy Palace Master and the Palace Master. I believe you all know what day is today. Qing Lao smiled and then said to the disciple below, "Today is the greatest prosperity of my Burning Incense Pavilion. Team match. The previous individual competition has ended. Many outstanding disciples have emerged from my Fenxiang Pavilion. This is the result of your hard work," the old man said slowly. The young and old just finished speaking, and bursts of frenzy suddenly emerged from below. Although the individual competition has proved the terrifying strength of many people, there is no doubt that the real attraction is the team competition. The champion of the individual competition can only get the qualifications to enter the Doji Pavilion and join the Heavenly Palace, but if the team competition wins, then the things they will get are those 3, 6 and 9 level cultivation caves. The best caves such as 369 and 369 are the great benefits of cultivation. In addition, you can enter the Doji Pavilion to obtain Do skills, which is really attractive. The Burning Incense Pavilion is located deep above Mount Hua, and there have been many rumors about the cultivation cave of the 369 class since ancient times. It is said that this cave is divided into 9 types, 1 to 9, 1 is the second and 9 is the highest. There are different opinions as to what the benefits of the 9-level cave heaven and blessed land are. Since everyone can't wait any longer, let me explain the rule. S of the game. The fat body of Shang Yuan behind Qing Lao stepped forward slightly and smiled naively. As Shang Yuan took a step, the disciples below Burning Tianyu felt an invisible pressure. The Burning Incense Pavilion team competition starts today. Rules of the game. 5 people in a team, free combination. There are no restrictions on the Hall of People and the Hall of Earth. After the formation is completed, register and receive the team card. After Shang Yuan finished speaking, 3 colors of team cards flashed in his hand. Team cards are divided into 3 levels, divided into cyan, yellow and red. 3 colors represent different mission threat factors. Cyan is the easiest, red is the most dangerous, but the most dangerous reward is also quite rich. Shang Yuan finished speaking, a smile slowly appeared on the corner of his mouth. Team card? Why is this team competition different from the previous one? I clearly remember that in the previous team competition, the winner was determined by direct confrontation. Why is it so troublesome this time? The disciples below heard the words and began to discuss. Lingxuan, do you know why this team competition is like this? Wang Chen, who was surrounded by many disciples in the Hall of Earth, said to the little witch. I don't know, Daddy is very secretive about this team competition, even I didn't tell it. Ling Zan looked at the 3 people in the sky, and the corners of her mouth showed a bit of dissatisfaction. Is that so? Wang Chen immediately frowned when he heard the words, because this Lingxuan was the precious daughter of their palace master. Since she didn't even know about her, this team competition might not be easy. After thinking about it, he looked at the crowd, and the next moment he saw several named disciple leaders and Mu Feng in the Hall of Humanity. What the asterisk is going on in this team competition? Mu Feng was immediately puzzled after hearing this. This Fenxian Pavilion's team competition used to be a 5-player team confrontation, but there has never been such a thing as receiving a team card. Li Ji on the side said, obviously also quite puzzled by what Shang Yuan just said. I think the team competition this time is different from the past, probably because the sect competition is close at hand. Zi Lian, who was silent on the side, said, as for the content of this team match, it will appear on the team card after you receive the team card. But I have to tell you in advance that this time the team competition is more dangerous than any previous one, and the rewards are more generous. Shang Yuan's voice was heard. And announcing something here. The next moment, Shang Yuan's eyes slowly stared at a figure in the crowd below, and he kept muttering, this kid's strength is probably comparable to some elders. Shang Yuan's eyes were fixed on Xiao link to yiwww.novelmtl.com, which made Xiao Yi feel that something was wrong. Cancel the qualifications of Rendi and Xiao Yi for this team competition. A coercion burst out instantly. Bastard. Xiao Yi heard the words, biting the corner of her mouth tightly, staring at Shang Yuan viciously. As for why it was cancelled, I believe you know. The next moment, Shang Yuan smiled slowly. You! Xiao Yi heard the words, and suddenly the flame power in her body was slowly mobilized. This team competition has the presence of brother Xiao Yan, so I have to participate. Cancel it if you cancel it. Just when Xiao Yi was about to break out to ask for a statement, a broad palm was placed directly on Xiao Yi's shoulder. Big brother, Xiao Yi said directly to the figure in front of him without turning his head. I don't know why, Xiao Yi always has an extraordinarily intimacy with Xiao Yan. If you put it in human terms, it is dependence. Brother, Xiao Yi slowly lowered her head, as if to say something. Don't worry, even though you can't participate in this team competition, I will still take the championship back. Xiao Yan smiled slowly, a confident and dangerous smile curling up between the corners of his mouth. Success? The green flute on the side stared at Mu Yingying beside Xiao Yan, and suddenly found that there seemed to be some terrifying power in Mu Yingying's body. That power was like the power of life and death. The robbery succeeded, and Mu Yingying agreed lightly, then looked at the 3 old men above the sky. The reason for the disqualification of Rendi and Xiao Yi is because of her unique identity. But in return, I'll add one to you. Ling Zan in the middle stage of the 6-star Do Emperor in the Earth Palace. After Shang Yuan finished speaking, his expression became weird. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 629. What? Shang Yuan's voice just fell, and the next thing is to blow up the pot. Sister Lingxuan from our Earth Palace actually wants to join the Human Palace team? Did you make a mistake? Senior Sister Lingxuan is a powerhouse in the middle stage of the 6-star Do D. When she joined the Human Palace, she was undoubtedly held back by the people in the Human Palace. As far as I know, apart from Xiao Yan's unpredictable strength in the Hall of Humanity, the rest of the strongest people only have the strength of a 5-star Do Emperor. The disciples around Ling Zan slowly expressed their dissatisfaction. Quiet. Shang Yuan didn't hesitate, and when he drank it suddenly, an invisible wave suddenly emanated. Join the Hall of People? The team in the Hall of People should now consist of 5 people living in Wujuju. Now 1 person has been restricted from participating in the competition, and there are still 4 people. But that Xiao Yan's strength, I'm afraid I can't figure it out. Wang Chen, who was beside him, helped Lingxuan analyze. You must know that if Wang Chen in the middle stage of the 6-star Do D could say such words, it was enough to show how Xiao Yan was demonstrating against him in the competition field. Lingxuan, what do you think? Shang Yuan in the sky asked with a smile staring at Lingxuan. Although this decision was made by the Lord of the Earth Palace, this little witch still made Shang Yuan uneasy. After all, this little witch was pampered in the underground palace, so it would be good to send it out to practice it, but if she doesn't agree, I am afraid that the bamboo basket will be a waste of water. This is also the intention of the master of the underground palace as a father. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem, I agree. Ling Zan's long eyelashes flickered continuously, and she said after thinking for a while. Although Lingxuan was treated like a little princess in the underground palace, but when she met Xiao Yan for the first time, she was easily deflected from her attack, and defeated Wang Chen effortlessly. Zan couldn't help but feel different emotions towards Xiao Yan. Damn, this troublemaker. Xiao Yan could naturally see that it was clear that they had planned this Ling Xuan to integrate into their team by disqualifying Xiao Yi from the competition. Since that's the case, let's decide things like this. You all form a team. After you form a team, come to me to register, and then receive the team card. As for the specific content of the team competition, all of them will be recorded on the team card. Shang Yuan smiled slowly. Just as Shang Yuan finished speaking, the crowd below slowly began to flow. Obviously, many people did not find a suitable team. Let's go, I'll take you there first. Wang Chen said earnestly at the little junior sister beside him and smiled. Not knowing what Ling Xuan was thinking at this time, she followed Wang Chen slowly. Hee, brother Xiao Yan, since you guys have already formed a team, let's go ahead. Besides Xiao Yan, Li Ji said slowly, and after speaking, he left the square and headed towards the registration office. Big brother, what should I do now? Xiao Yi was a little puzzled why Xiao Yan had to suppress her just now, but Xiao Yi knew that Xiao Yan would naturally have his reasons for suppressing her, so she spoke immediately. Don't worry, since you can't participate in this team competition, then just stay in Wujuju, just to consolidate the strength in your body. I have a hunch that you seem to be breaking through. Xiao Yan whispered, well, there is a little sign of progress, but too little power is needed. Xiao Yi nodded thoughtfully, and then spoke. Xiao Yi was also surprised. Her birth benefited from those strange fires that Xiao Yan merged. Today, Xiao Yi is in the second stage of the fire elf. Although her strength has already reached the perfect level of the 8-star Do Emperor, she still needs to take the next step. I am afraid that only by breaking through the second stage of the fire elf and entering the third stage can we continuously improve the strength. Don't worry, this team competition, if there is a chance, I will bring you something back. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Then I'll go back first. If there is an emergency, just call me directly. No matter where you are, eldest brother, I will rush over. Xiao Yi said solemnly. Okay. Xiao Yan nodded immediately upon hearing this. Xiao Yan and Xiao Yi had some connections that even Xiao Yan didn't know about. That connection not only allowed them to temporarily merge with each other, but also sense the life and death of each other. In that case, let's go. Let's go and see how that space is first. After the three old men in the sky finished speaking, they disappeared directly into the sky. Xiao Yan, hello. My name is Ling Xuan. Wang Chen brought Ling Xuan to Xiao Yan, and then Ling Xuan took a step forward and stretched out her hand to face Xiao Yan. Hello, Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan actually didn't want to talk too much with this Ling Xuan, but unfortunately there were still a lot of people here. Most of them were from their palace, so helplessly stretched out his hand to Ling Xuan as well. Zan held it. Shabu shabu. Ling Zan's small jade hand just held Xiao Yan's palm, and suddenly felt a hot breath from Xiao Yan's palm. What exactly is in Xiao Yan's body? Why is the power of flame so terrifying? Ling Zan kept thinking about it in her mind. Obviously, with Ling Zan's vision and status, she naturally read countless people, but she never saw it. With such a huge flame power of Xiao Yan, this woman actually wants to probe into my body? Xiao Yan immediately discovered the little abacus in Ling Xin's heart, and immediately frowned, but it disappeared instantly. Since you want to investigate, let me show it to you. I want your strength in the middle stage of the 6-star Do Emperor just now to be able to afford the sudden waves. Xiao Yan couldn't help but smile, and then he did nothing and let Ling Xuan move. Junior sister Ling Xuan, it's time to let go. Wang Chen on the side didn't know that Ling Xuan was investigating Xiao Yan's body, but Xiao Yan and Ling Xuan held their hands for a while before letting Link to go www.novelmtl.com. Hurriedly said. Cough, cough. Ling Zan heard this, coughed a few times in embarrassment, and then slowly let go. You are very strong. Ling Zan said to Xiao Yan after changing her hippie smile. Let's go to register to receive the team card first. Xiao Yan seemed to completely ignore Ling Zan's words, and then slowly walked in the opposite direction. HMPH, what are you pretending to be? One day I'm going to kick your asterisk and let you show off your power in front of me. Seeing Xiao Yan and the four of them slowly leaving, Ling Zan immediately stomped her feet and followed. Hey, when did this little junior sister's temper get better? It seems that Xiao Yan is really her nemesis. I originally thought that the master of the palace would put the little junior sister in our team, but I didn't expect her to be removed. So this time the elites in our palace join forces. I am afraid that we will be the first place. At that time, the fighting skills and the 9-class cave heaven blessed land will be ours. If I can enter the 9 heavens paradise, I can't say that my strength will increase by leaps and bounds. Seeing Ling Xuan leaving, Wang Chen said happily. After he finished speaking, he left here to look for his team. As for what Wang Chen said about the elites of the Earth Palace, you don't need to think about it. They must be the 2nd senior brother, 3rd senior brother, 4th senior brother and himself, but who is still the same person? It is unknown. The real good show has to start now. Every disciple has such a realization in their hearts. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter.